Hello. Hello. So I was thinking, if mediums can connect with if mediums can communicate with the dead, you imagine what Large could do. Take your time. So the conditioning in the UK is full on at the moment. On the 5th of July, we had 75 years of the National Health Service. And if you're from America, what the National Health Service is exactly the same as what you've got, and it's all free. Yeah, free. I don't know how it works in America, but if I fell over now, broke a leg, I could phone for an ambulance, that's free. They would take me to hospital. The hospital would do x-rays and have a look and have a chat, that's free. They would put me in plaster or knock me out and do some surgery on me, that's free. And then give me some bandages, bandage me up, give me a crutch, that's free, and give me some tablets and bits and bobs, that's free, and send me on my merry way. That's how... Load your licking, my love, now come on. That's how it works here in the UK. So the National Health is a big thing. It was born on the 5th of July in 1948 by what's been digging in there then? A fox? By the Labour Party, and it was they say the man involved, Bodie, good lord, the man mostly involved in it was Nye Bevan. They called him Nye, N-Y-E, because he's Welsh, or was Welsh, and his name was just too difficult really for most people, including me. I can't even remember what it was. It began with A, something like that, so we called him Nye, which is much better, Nye Bevan, so we got him to thank, and the Labour Party. And although it's slagged off and abused a lot, the National Health, it's been kind of manufactured that way, mostly by Conservatives, because they want to do away with it, and they want to go down a similar route to America, because they make a shitload of money out of flogging various parts and bits and bobs and getting us all to pay, nearly fell over, getting us all to pay a ridiculous amount to see a doctor or a specialist or whatever. But it's all all this manufactured stuff, so they don't put enough money into the national health, and things are not really run very good at times. I mean, I've had some great service and I've had some piss poor service. So I've got a real sweat on today. It's we're in a heat wave in the UK. There's somebody over there, I think he's coming along this path behind me. I'd like him to, and then bugger off that way, because he's got two massive Alsatians, German Shepherds, whatever you want to call them. Is there a difference? I don't think so. And I'm not a fan of big dogs, and nor's Bodie, so hopefully they're not going to come up behind us. But I'm sure you'll tell us if I hold the camera like this. There you go. I'm sure we'll be fine. Yeah, so sadly, one day, even though it's 75 years, one day we won't have the national health, and it's planned that way. Oh, there's another woman, hang on a sec. So, although I've received good and bad treatment via the national health, all I can do is sing their praises, really, because when they have been good, they've been absolutely spot on. They've been amazing. They've saved my life 5 times. 5 times. So I wouldn't be here without the national. In fact, who would be here? You know, many of us were born in hospital. You know, the national health was involved in our birth, our infancy, our childhood, you know, accidents and bits and bobs that kids all get done to themselves. And then as we grow up, you know, we have sometimes a major thing or 2 or 3 or whatever, and national health are normally involved in all that. And then obviously there's various parts of the national health, so from, you know, physical kind of surgery and things like that to mental health treatments and centres and things. Where did that dog go? Bode? Oh, there you are. I wondered where you went to, you cheeky. So the national health are involved in our lives really from the outset. I think one of their slogans is something about from the point of contact it's free. In other words, the second you phone up, it's free. So you phone your doctor and say, look, I got this wrong. They make an appointment, you go there, you do whatever, and then you know, it ends in however it ends, and hopefully it ends in you feeling well and better. And that's, you know, doctors, specialists, you know, consultants and operations and things, whatever, you know. So from the point of contact, it's free, and it should always be free. I don't think it will be. I really think the Conservative government want rid of it. They can sell various units and charge people a fortune and what have you, and before we know it, we're paying through the nose, and then we will be like some countries, like America, you know, where people are scared to phone their doctor or whatever because they've broken a leg. But let's sing the praises. Now, I said that the conditioning is in full force, and it really is, because we are at 75 years of the national health, and I've seen nothing about it anywhere, really nothing. I think there was a small mention, the end of a programme somewhere, you know, on YouTube, that said, oh, by the way, you know, and that was it. And if you look around, I stroked somebody else's dog and I got a sticky hand. I don't know what it had on it. If you look around, you will see Plenty of pride flags and even some Ukraine flags, but nothing about the national health. 75 years, that's a massive feat. It's something to celebrate, something to be proud of in this country. Oh, Bo, come here, love. Bobo. Oh God. Everybody's had the same idea. Get out early with your dog, which is right. You know, I would never walk Bodie on concrete in the middle of the day or whatever. I wouldn't even bring him here, although there's quite a lot of shade. But yeah, first thing in the morning. But I seem to be, about every 1 minute, I seem to find another dog owner, or just a dog really, as in that case, running on its own, and then the owner came. But whatever. So, not sure where I went to, because I quickly had to turn the camera off at that point. But oh yeah, something about the flags, wasn't it? So yeah, loads and loads of pride all over the place. Shops, banks, markets, pubs, everything is pride, 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 pride. And then there's a number of Ukraine. And really, I've seen nothing about the national health. And again, it's all geared up like that. It's all manufactured. You know, the governments will print leaflets and flags and everything and give it to copious amounts of businesses, banks, pubs, etc. And they've done nothing for the national health in 75 years, you know. All they've done is try and make the national health look like a load of jokers. And in some parts they are. And sadly, some of our treatment, we feel like, you know, we've been taking the piss out of. When they get it right, they get it really right, in my case. And when they get it wrong, they get it really wrong, in my case. And I can only speak really from myself and my, you know, not my point of view, but what I've actually experienced. But I wish we could be proud of the national health. Now, they don't always get it right, and I've just had to lie yesterday, as I'm making this yesterday. I've got an infection in my left leg. No idea why, it just happened about 3 days ago. And it's got worse and worse and worse, and now it's very, very red. It's sore. Bode, come on. It throbs and aches, and it's nearly, believe it or not, double the size of my other leg. It's a shame it's not me willy, but there you go. So I've had to lie. Now, I contacted my doctor. We've got this system, same as they have all around the country really, but this system that you have to contact, and then they triage you, and they let you know whether they're going to see you or not. So anyway, I took 5 photos of my leg, and it looks very sore and poorly and much fatter than the other one. And sent that off, and I said, you know, can I have an appointment? I need some antibiotics. Anyway, it came back as this is not important really, you know. This is not deemed as an emergency or whatever. So I can make an appointment on the 2nd week of August. I think it was the 12th actually, if I remember. Absolutely ridiculous. So I made an appointment for the 12th provisionally, and then you got a thing on there that if your condition worsens, to contact us. So obviously my condition worsened. So the last 2 days I've been up at 6 o'clock because it opens at 6 o'clock. So, you know, in the morning. So it's a case of getting up and getting in there first online. Come here please. And anyway, I thought this is not good enough, you know, it's ridiculous. So I contacted them and I said, This was yesterday. No, this way please, love. Thank you. Please move. So yesterday morning, 6 o'clock, and I said, my leg is much worse. It's even more swollen. It wasn't. It's even more red. It wasn't. It's, you know, kept me awake all night. It didn't. And then I said, but I now feel sick and dizzy, and I'm really worried. And I think the sickness and the dizziness, which I haven't experienced, but never mind, got me an appointment. So they contacted me about 7:30, and oh, I did put on there, because this was yesterday, I said I have an appointment from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. so I'm available from 11:30 onwards, and I'd like to see somebody today. So they contacted me at 7:30, and they said, yes, the doctor's looked at your photographs again. Well, why a second time? And we feel that you need to come in and see a doctor and get some antibiotics. I also put that on there, I need antibiotics. It's like we are our own doctors. But anyway, so I said, that's great, what time? 10:55. I said, did you read what I've put? She said, yeah. I said, well, I can't be there because I've got an appointment from 10 until 11. So I can't be there until 11:30 at the earliest. And she said, oh, I'll have a look. She said, yeah, okay, 11:30 then. I mean, you know, anyway, whatever. So that was quite poor. But then you go in, and I saw a wonderful doctor called Laura. Don't know what her surname was. Absolutely amazing. And she did all the usual, looked down my throat, in my ears. She took my blood pressure and my pulse rate, checked my breathing. You know, there's a thing in there, how much, I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know, she was lovely, really, really lovely. And she had a feel of my leg. She said, oh my word, it is swollen. How long have you had it? And I said, you know, a few days. And she said, you've been feeling sick and dizzy. And I said to her, look, I haven't really been feeling sick and dizzy. And she went, oh dear. And I said, yeah, it was the only way of me getting in. And she said, really? And I said, yeah, I sent the photographs, and I've said, you know, it's painful, which it is. It's swollen, which it is. I need antibiotics, which I do. Come on, boats. And was told hard luck for about 4, 5, 6 weeks. I said, by then, I'll either be dead, it will have healed and be a distant memory, or, because it's so fat, it will open, and then I've got a bloody ulcer to deal with for perhaps a year or two, you know. And I said, I ain't gonna have that. So I said, to everything I've said is correct, but I'm not sick, I'm not dizzy, not faint, all the other things that I put on there. But I thought if I put that on there, I'd get seen, and here I am. And she said, oh, it's very naughty. She said, but I don't blame you. And this is from the doctor. So again, it's a bit of a failing, but she was fantastic, lovely, lovely woman, really knowledgeable, knew her stuff, told me what to look out for, which is the calf muscle, you know, at the back. If that gets hard or lumpy or sore, to go back in, because it could be a blood clot. You know, if the redness comes up over my knee, again, to go in, and blah blah blah. And I said, well, that's all well and good, you say that, if I can get an appointment, you know. But I said, if I see you again, chances are it'll say on there, you know, I feel sick and dizzy and faint and, you know, God knows what else. And she said, well, come in if you're short of breath. I said, well, I'm short of breath anyway, because of my heart. You know, mostly I'm not short of breath, but like now on a bimble, of course I'm short of breath. And but I said, if I ever come and see you again, probably you'll read that. He's faint, dizzy, sick, short of breath, you know. I know it's a bit naughty, but I had to really. And she said, I'm glad you did. She said, because you do need antibiotics, and I'm going to give you some strong ones. I took 2 immediately, and then it's 1 per day just for 4 days. And she said they are very strong and they will really attack it. So that's good. She said obviously there are there's things connected with it, like you might be able to get you might get the shits a little bit. Well, I haven't, so that's good. And there's other things, but I haven't got any of them. So we're on the way, we're mending, which is nice. But it's quite poor in this country that you've got to do all that, and of course this is the national health. So as I say, it's yin yang, it's really good and really bad at the same time. But a lot of these things are just manufactured by the government, and they don't want us to have the national health. It's free. Why would they want us having something that's free? Anyway, I've got hat on. Part of the meds I'm on, these antibiotics, is to stay out of the sunshine. So, which is why we're out now early. I'm not going out over the weekend. It's Friday as I'm making this, so Chinese tonight. So I'm not going out for the rest of the day, and I'm not going out over the weekend. And by Monday, that'll be the last of my medication, and my leg should be much better, and then we can do whatever we need to do. But wherever I go, I tend to try and find a bit of shade anyway. I'm not a great lover of the sunshine. So yeah, the national health, eh? The national health employs in this country 1.6 million people. It's the biggest employer in the UK and the 5th biggest employer around the world. So it's something to be proud of. It's a massive thing, and they've saved so many lives, probably including yours if you were born with the national health, or if you needed the national health when you were a child, or if you were ill and you needed medication or even surgery or whatever, or if you've had mental health worries and concerns, and you've been involved in whatever you've been involved in, So the national health is important. We can see it as a joke because that is the conditioning, much the same as all these pride flags, the Ukraine flags. Be proud of pride, be proud of Ukraine, and be nothing of the national health. So wrong. Anyway, I'm moaning really, but you know what I mean. So I'd just like to thank all the nurses, doctors, specialists, consultants, different people that I've seen over my years, and anybody else really. I think these people are angels. I think they're incredible. And when I had my cancer surgery, the way they looked after me was phenomenal, because it's an awful job that they have to do sometimes. And if I'm honest, I couldn't get out of bed physically, and I had an epidural in my spine, so I couldn't feel anything from my spine down. And when I defecated, I didn't know. I just kind of felt my legs sticky or whatever, and I pressed the thing, and I said, I think I've soiled the bed, I can't be sure. And they changed me, cleaned me up every single time. And that is phenomenal, really. So my best wishes to nurses, doctors, everybody, And I know there's some good and some bad, but ultimately I wouldn't be here without the national health, and nor would you. So thank you to everybody. Okay, enjoy your day and be well.